Hi, welcome back to Cosgrove Math Revolution. Here is the video for practicing multiplying and dividing fractions. Again, if you haven't watched my integer practice video, I love this website. It's called mathdrills.com. It's right down here at the bottom of the page. And all props go to them. Mathdrills.com is an awesome website. You can download free worksheets for pretty much every math concept that you can think of. And the beautiful thing about it, besides the fact that it's free, is that you can also get the answer key along with your worksheet. So that way you'll know if you're actually doing things right or not. They also have multiple options for you. So this is just worksheet A, but depending on the concept, they have multiple worksheets for you to print out and try. This one has 12 problems on it. I assign these for homework every once in a while because they're super easy to work on. They give you lots of space and they're really understandable problems. So let's go ahead and try to go through some of these problems today. And I'm not going to go through every one on the page. We'll just go through and pick a few out, and then we'll see how we do. I should tell you I'm working in pen just because it's easier for you to see on the screen. If you were working in my classroom, that's a huge no-no for me. You cannot use pen because it's very messy. You should always use pencil for math. So tip for today, if you are not using a pencil to do your math, you should definitely use a pencil for math. It is required again in my classroom. So your teacher will appreciate it very much if you do your pencil or do your math in pencil. Okay, so let's go through, and I'm just gonna tackle a few of these problems that I really like based on the fact that I can simplify them or maybe not simplify them. As you can see, some of them have whole numbers. So let's just go through and let's try a few and see how we do, okay? So let's tackle this first guy. This is a really ugly fraction. And I say it's ugly because 8 and 5 are not going to simplify. 19 and 3 are not going to simplify. They don't have any factors in common. So I'm going to have to multiply straight across. So let's start with what I know. So 8 times 3 is 24. That one's nice and simple. I'm going to have to do this 19 times 5 down here. 9 times 5, 45. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 is 9. So this is going to be 95 over 24. If you were working in my classroom, because I teach mostly pre-algebra, algebra 1, algebra 2, this would be an okay answer for me. But for some of you, you're going to need to put this into a mixed number format for your teacher. So let's put it into a mixed number. So this means the same thing as 24. Well, 24 is close to 25, right? 25 cents would be a quarter. There's 3 quarters and 95 cents. So my big number is going to be 3. So let's actually do the math over here to show that it goes in 3 times. Right, so it goes in 3 times. So if I actually add another 24 to this, I'm going to get 96, which is going to be too much. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of math here. So my large number out front, my whole number is 3. And then my fraction is going to be over 24 because denominator stays. And the difference between, or remainder between 72 and 95 is 23. So this is going to be my final answer. Again, I told you that's an ugly one. I'll do the 95 minus 72 here just so you can see it. Okay. So 3 and 23 24ths. So we got that one out of the way. Let's tackle one that's not quite so ugly. How about, let's do this one down here at the bottom of the page. I like this one. Okay, so 8 and 11 do not have factors in common, so you can't simplify those. But 5 and 20 do. I can divide both of these by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is, 20 divided by 5 is 4. So now I can multiply straight across. So I have 8 times 4, which is 32, over 11 times 1, which is 11. Again, this answer would be fine for me, but if you need to do a mixed number, 11 goes into 32 twice. I know it doesn't go in 3 times because 3 times 11 is 33. That's 1 too many. So 2 times would be 22. That's a remainder of 10 over the denominator. Okay, let's try this one. I like this one a lot. So we're going to put 12 over 1. And then I'm going to simplify. So I can simplify 3 and 12 by dividing both of those by 3. 3 divided by 3 is going to simplify to 1. 12 divided by 3 is going to simplify to 4. And this is going to give me 4 times 4, which is 16 over 1. So simplify that, equals 16. Okay, how about one more on this sheet? Let's do this one. So 7, we can divide both of these 7s by 7, which gives us 1 on each of these spaces. That's nice. 9 and 16 do not have anything in common. The factors that go into 9 are 3 and 9 and 1, which isn't helpful, but 3 goes into 9. 3 doesn't go into 16. So 16 would be 2 and 8 or 4 and 4. That's really the only options, right? So they don't have anything in common, so you're gonna have to multiply across. But that's okay, because we're dealing with 1. So 1 times 16 equals 16. 9 times 1 is 9. Again, mixed number is 9 goes into 16 one time with a remainder of 7 over the denominator, which is going to be 1 and 7/9. Okay, let's look at another sheet. This sheet has some mixed numbers in it as well. So let's go through and try a few of these. So if I'm going to do mixed numbers, let's look at, let's go with this guy. We'll just go with this guy because he's right in the middle of the page. Okay. First thing I have to do is this has to be changed to improper. You have to change this first. It has to go first. If you don't do it first, you're going to get your problem wrong. So bring 7/3 down in your multiplication symbol and then turn this into an improper. Always keep the denominator, very important. And then 2 times 5 or 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11. Okay. Then I have 7 and 5 don't have factors in common. 3 and 11 don't have factors in common, so I multiply across. 7 times 11, 77. 3 times 5, 15. And then 15 is going to go into 77. Let's see. I'm going to do some guess and check over here on this side. Let's see if it'll go in 5 times. 5 times 5, 25. This is 75. That was a good guess. Okay, so it'll go in 5 times. That's the big number. So 5 times is 75. So the remainder is 2, because 77 and 75, there's 2 different between those, over the denominator. So 5 and 2/15. Okay, I really like this one right below it. Let's divide both of these by 6. You could divide them both by 2, but then you might also see that you could divide them again by 3. So try to find the greatest common factor that you can simplify them by, because it'll save you work, it'll save you time. Okay, so 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So let's multiply across. There's 1 times 1, which is 1. 7 times 2, which is 14. That's 1 over 14. I like this one too. Let's divide both of these by 3. Simplify down to 1 on both of those. And you're going to have 1 times 5, which is 5. And 11 times 1, which is 11. Sorry, I'm changing colors here. I'm just all over the place. That's okay. All right. Let's do another one with a mixed number. I'm really trying to avoid that one on top because this one's really ugly. But let's go ahead and try it because it's got 2 mixed numbers here. It'll be helpful for you. So let's turn both of them improper. So that has to happen first. So that's denominator and this denominator. So 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 4 is 24. Okay, looks like we can simplify. Let's divide both of these by 2. And I'll show you what I was just talking about down here. So if I do 4 divided by 2, I get 2. And 24 divided by 2, I get 12. Okay, so kind of like what I was talking about back here with the 6's, if you divided these both by 2 instead of by 6 or by 3, the 6 and the 12, sorry, I divided by 2 here, but do you see that 2 and 12 are both even still? So I could divide again by 2. So divide both of these by 2. 2 divided by 2 is now 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay, this is kind of a messy problem, so just be careful. 7 times 6 is your answer here, which is 42, over 1 times 5, which is 5. And if it's going to a mixed number, 5 goes into 42 8 times with a remainder of 2 over the denominator. Okay, that is your multiplication practice problems. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stop this video and do a separate one for dividing, just because this is a long video already. So thanks for watching, and I hope that this helps with your multiplying fractions.